Thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to introduce the Amputee Coalition. We're so thankful for Sheltering Arms Institute to be one of our valued hospital partners. It is an integral that we ensure that no one goes through their journey with limb loss or limb difference alone. And through the connection with our hospital partners, we can ensure that both the healthcare staff and the patients and their families learn about our mission, understand the value of peer support, and the ways that we can help connect communities together, all for the purpose of just making sure that those at risk for an amputation, those impacted by limb difference, and those that have gone through a traumatic amputation or other causes that relate to an amputation can connect with resources, education, and support. As Allison mentioned, my name is Nicole Gross. I'm the strategic partnership with the Amputee Coalition, and I've been with the coalition for a little over 3 years. Excuse me, my family has been personally impacted by limb loss after the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing. So I feel very connected to our mission and want to help others ensure that there are resources available to navigate you through the journey, both for the individuals impacted by limb loss as well as the caregivers. On this slide, you'll see that our mission is very powerful. We are reaching out and empowering people impacted by limb loss and limb difference to achieve their full potential through education, support, and advocacy, and to promote limb loss prevention. We're the leading national nonprofit supporting the 2.1 million people currently living with limb loss and limb difference in the United States. And as you will see on this slide, the need is great to help raise awareness and ensure that the needs of the growing population at risk for amputation is strong. There are currently 2.1 million people living with limb loss. Over 185 amputations occur per year. And those that are living with limb loss have a 40% increase in their lifetime healthcare costs in comparison to those living without limb loss. And there are 36% of people with limb loss living with depression. We know that currently in the state of the pandemic and the mental health crisis that number has probably rapidly increased over this past year. So our work is pretty simple. We have 4 pillars of our mission. It's through education, support, connection, and advocacy. And who makes up our coalition are individuals living with limb loss and limb difference, family members, friends, and caregivers, clinical team members, hospitals and rehab centers, researchers, students, and relatable industries and nonprofit partners. A little history before we get into the rest of the slides. Back in 1986, a small group of amputee support group leaders recognized the need for an organization dedicated to the needs of people with limb loss. Working entirely as volunteers, they laid the foundation for what is now called the Amputee Coalition and for our mission. A key concept of supporting the limb loss and limb difference community is achieving this goal is also a focus on mental health and well-being. This slide emphasizes our education. We do offer our patient resources for free for those in need. Our National Limb Loss Center currently serves over 650,000 people and disseminating over 20,000 of our resources with an 85% satisfaction rate. As a hospital partner, Sheltering Arms Institute receives our publications on an annual basis. The first one is our First Step Guide, which helps guide individuals impacted by limb loss through their first year and a half after limb loss. We also have a free bi-monthly magazine called In Motion. And we do have research partnerships that help expand a better understanding of our community. And then we also offer limb loss education days, typically in person, but now moving towards virtual, so that we can connect with a mini conference experience for those impacted in their local communities and provide a day of education, adaptive activities, and community connection. Through support, we have over 400 registered support groups throughout the country. We've currently partnered with over 60 hospitals and rehab facilities to provide support, our peer visitor trainings, and educational materials on site. Our certified peer visitor program first launched our trainings back in 1993, where we have served over 1,500 certified peer visitors to meet individuals and families during their times of need. Back in 2018, we launched a free support app through the Apple App Store and Google Play, and there's also a web browser link on this slide, originally to help our peer visitors report their peer visits, but further expansions have helped the patients be able to self-match themselves with an available volunteer. And this app is HIPAA compliant and provides in-app texting and in-app video chatting. There are valuable benefits of peer support, both for the patients and their families, as well as the volunteers who are providing the support and the hospital health system. Some of them include having a healthier mindset and making healthier lifestyle choices, gaining a better sense of community, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. There's a decrease in hospital readmissions through peer support, as well as an increase in a patient's self-advocacy and self-determination. So there are a variety of ways to stay connected with the coalition, oftentimes through our events. On an annual basis, we hold our flagship programs, which is a national conference that draws nearly 1,500 attendees each year with over 80 educational sessions. Last year, we switched to a virtual conference experience where we had a record turnout of our community members who are living with limb loss or caregivers. And we are hoping that this year we can provide a hybrid experience, both virtual and in person, if safe to resume in-person conferences. And our Patty Rossback Youth Camp provides a magical one-week camp for free for kids ages 10 through 17 who are born with limb difference or undergo an amputation. We also have our youth camp counselors and leadership counselors who are also living with limb loss and limb difference. Our advocacy efforts primarily take place heavily in the month of April during Limb Loss and Limb Difference Awareness Month. When we were able to go in person, we would go up on the Hill after undergoing some advocacy training to help educate legislators and our local governments to understand the insurance fairness rights of those living with limb loss and limb difference and the impact of the healthcare costs associated with it. We have details on our website about our 2021 Advocacy Forum, currently taking place in the month of April over 2 days virtually. So we'd love to have any interest from your community that would like to get involved in advocacy and sharing your voice and your stories. And on the next slide is about awareness. As mentioned, April is our awareness month. The last Saturday of April each month is Show Your Medal Day. We have information on our website currently about how you can get involved through this campaign. And as mentioned, our advocacy forum takes place each April. After discharge, we'd love to connect with patients and families to ensure that you are getting the resources that you need as your journey evolves. So this slide provides you some ways to connect with our National Limb Loss Resource Center at 888-267-5669. Or visit our website at www.amputee-coalition.org. We also are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And before closing, I just want to say thank you to Sheltering Arms Institute for the valued partnership. We have provided additional resources that are available for patients upon discharge, for takeaway handouts. If you choose to accept a peer visit, if it's offered to you during your stay, we would love to connect you with a certified peer visitor or a certified family peer visitor. But we also know that there may be opportunities to feel more interested in a peer visit when you're not so overwhelmed in the hospital. So there are ways that you can stay connected with us through some handouts that are provided to you. You can request a peer visit directly from our website through an online request form. You can call the coalition through our 800 number. You can send an email to peer support at amputee-coalition.org, or you can download our support app from the Apple App Store or Google Play, or on the web browser link that's also available on our website. We want to make sure that you have the resources and the connection to support to ensure that you don't feel alone on your journey. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share a little bit of insight as to the big mission of the Amputee Coalition, and we would love to stay connected with you to help you stay connected.